There comes a time in a woman's life when the world around her grows quieter than she ever expected. The people she thought would stay begin to drift. The conversations she relied on slow down, and the support she believed would always be there fades in ways she didn't see coming. It's a strange and heavy season, because on the surface, it looks like loss, but inside that silence, something deeper begins to move. When a woman realizes she has no one else to lean on except God, she steps into a different kind of story. It's not the story of being forgotten. It's the story of being formed. It's not a sign that she's at the end. It's a sign that God is beginning something new inside her. What feels like emptiness is often the very ground where God starts planting strength she never knew she had. When the last familiar voice becomes distant, and there's nothing left but her prayers and her thoughts, she learns to hear God in a way she couldn't hear him before. Life is noisy. People bring expectations, opinions, advice, and distractions. But when everything grows still, she discovers that God has been speaking all along. He was just waiting for the room to quiet down. She begins to pray, not because she's supposed to, but because she has come to the end of her own strength. She opens Scripture, not out of routine, but because her heart is hungry for direction. She talks to God with a kind of honesty she didn't know she had in her. And slowly, gently, she realizes that this season isn't proof that God has left her. It's proof that he is drawing closer. He steps into the places where people step out. He fills the emptiness that others have left behind. He becomes her anchor when every other foundation crumbles. God often removes what she depended on, not to harm her, but to show her what she was meant to stand on. Many women go through life leaning on something: approval, relationships, routines, familiar roles, or someone else's strength. But these things cannot carry a destiny. So God, in his wisdom, begins to shift what she leaned on. Plans fall through. Friendships change. Paths she thought were stable begin to wobble. It feels like everything is breaking, but the truth is that God is breaking her free. He is teaching her to walk with him, not behind someone else. He is teaching her to trust his voice, not the voice of fear or the voice of past expectations. When her old supports are gone, she begins to discover the abilities God placed inside her long ago, courage she never had to use, resilience she didn't know she possessed, and clarity she couldn't access when her life was full of noise. And yes, the season hurts. Pain has a way of exposing the places she hoped no one would see. But God never wastes pain. He uses it like a tool to shape her character, deepen her compassion, and sharpen her vision. In the difficult moments, she cries prayers she never prayed before. She asks questions she avoided. She lets go of things she once held tightly, and although the process feels uncomfortable, it creates space inside her for new strength to grow. Pain becomes the classroom where God teaches her endurance, patience, and spiritual maturity. It is often in the moments when her heart aches the most that God shows her how close he truly is. Her tears don't push him away, they draw him near. And in that nearness, something inside her begins to change. She starts seeing herself not as a woman who is breaking, but as a woman who is becoming. When she is alone with God, she begins to rediscover who she really is, not the version shaped by the expectations of others, not the version molded by past relationships or old wounds, but the woman God designed intentionally. She starts recognizing the quiet strength of women like Mary, the courage of Esther, the loyalty of Ruth, the endurance of Hannah, and finds pieces of herself in all of them. She realizes she wasn't overlooked. She was being prepared. She wasn't rejected. She was being redirected. She wasn't abandoned. She was being positioned. Her loneliness becomes the soil where new purpose grows. Her silence becomes the space where God rebuilds her identity piece by piece. And then something powerful happens. Her faith, stretched and tested through solitude, begins to take root in a deeper way. This is not lightweight faith or convenience faith. This is the kind of faith that endures storms, survives disappointments, and keeps standing when nothing goes according to plan. She becomes steady. She becomes rooted. She becomes harder to shake. People walking away doesn't destroy her anymore. Unexpected changes don't terrify her. Silence doesn't make her feel abandoned. She learns that God is enough. She learns that even if circumstances don't shift, her trust can. Even if answers are slow, God is still present. And even if the path is unclear, He will lead her step by step. What she once thought was a delay begins to look like preparation. What she once called loneliness becomes the womb of a new calling. What she once considered an interruption becomes the place where God whispered purpose into her spirit. Seeds grow in dark soil, not in sunlight. Babies grow in the hidden place of the womb before they appear in the world. And callings grow in silence before they ever become visible. God is not ignoring her. He is developing her. He hides what He is shaping. He protects what He is preparing. And He strengthens what He intends to send out. So if you've walked through nights that felt long, if you've cried in secret, if you've wondered if God sees you or hears you, if you've felt completely alone, let this be your reminder. You are not behind. You are being built. You are not forgotten. You are being formed. When a woman has no one but God, she does not come out weaker. She comes out wiser, calmer, clearer, stronger, and more aligned with who she was created to be. She becomes the kind of woman who doesn't fall apart when life changes, because she has learned to stand on the one who never changes. She becomes the kind of woman who cannot be shaken because her trust is no longer in people, but in God Himself. And when she walks out of this hidden season, she will not be the same woman who walked in. She will emerge with direction, with identity, with purpose, and with a strength she did not have before. If this message touched your heart, I want you to write this in the comments as a declaration of faith. I'm not alone. God is rebuilding me. And before you go, I've placed a free gift for you, the 365 Morning Prayer ebook, in the description below. May it strengthen you every morning as God continues the work He has already begun in you.